Yo, Theo here. So thank you. I think I noticed a few subscribers dropping in that seem to be very new users. So you listened to what I said in the last video. Thank you for that. Today we're cutting right to the chase. We're going to talk about diet, what you eat, and specifically the vertical diet that I kind of started following it before I knew about it, because I've talked about this on this channel before. If you go from a very unhealthy lifestyle, like the one I used to live, where you eat microwave food, pizza and stuff like that for most of the time, you're probably not gonna just switch over to some kind of perfect diet like that. You're gonna have to do some experimenting, and for me that was, just at first removing the obvious junk, the pizza, the sodas, stuff like that. I basically ate rice, chicken and broccoli, which is okay, but it's not that many, you're missing out on a lot of important nutrients there. And so then maybe you experiment, remove something else, add something else, and yeah, what I ended up with, I kind of noticed, was basically the vertical diet when I heard about it. So the vertical diet is created by a man named Stan Efferding, great man, a powerlifter and bodybuilder, but now he's a little older. I think he's 52 or around there. So now he's more of a fitness coach and entrepreneur, businessman. Very great man, and the vertical diet is basically, he did bodybuilding and powerlifting the same year for like 20 years. So his life for 20 years was like bulking for a powerlifting meet and then cutting down for a bodybuilding show, repeat year after year. And so the vertical diet is what he has learned through all that, those experiences. And I respect age a lot. Not age in and of itself. I mean, there is a lot of dumb grown-up people, but someone who's old and it's still working, you can see that it's working, whatever they're doing. Whatever they're doing has stood the test of time. And that's you should appreciate that. A younger guy like me really appreciates that experience that I can't possibly have yet, I can get from someone else. So, what is the vertical diet? Well, it's called the vertical diet because the shape of the stuff that you eat is kind of like that. On the top you have red meat and white rice. That makes like the bulk of the diet, because red meat is obviously, it's a great source of protein, great source of healthy fats, and also many micronutrients, like the very important ones like zinc, magnesium, so on, heme iron. Yes, and then I'm not going to go through everything else that's in the diet. You can just, because it's very available. If you Google the vertical diet, you're going to find an image that shows exactly what's included there. But this diet is based on two principles, really. Too many people everywhere, but two principles. Addressing micronutrient deficiencies without using supplements. So making sure you get all of those, magnesium, zinc, vitamins, minerals, all of those, but through food. And the other thing is the big thing, I think, addressing digestion. It's centered around making digestion as easy as possible. And this, I think, is key. This is the most important thing about a diet. Then, of course, if you're eating stuff that you can digest but eat zero protein, I mean, of course, that would be retarded. But you get my point. If your macros are decent, you get all the micronutrients, you gotta be able to digest it well. And if you can't digest the food you're eating, that means you're pooping out a lot of stuff and not taking it up. And this is something that many people probably don't think too much about, but when your digestion works well, you're gonna poop less. Yes, even if you eat a lot of food on a bulk, like I am right now, I don't even poop every day. Even though I eat like 3,500 calories. And it's not constipation, I've been constipated. It's just that most of the food that go in here stay in this area because I take it all up. Or not all, but so much of it. And yes, and yeah, let me tell you this. When I started changing my diet to the better, for instance, in the beginning I ate a lot of granola, because seemingly, you know, it seems healthy. It's promoted as very healthy, but a lot of the time there's a lot of added fiber. I think oligofructose, I think it's called, that's indigestible for most humans, and I just my gut was just wrecked. Yeah, I puked through my ass every day, basically, and you know, that's I understood something must be wrong. This eating healthy, you're not supposed to. That's not supposed to happen. Or that doesn't sound like an effect of being healthy, right? Yeah, but what I've found is the vertical diet. If you go to the vertical diet, you know, it will be fine. You don't have to follow it like 100%. Like for instance, Stan excludes coffee from his diet because, you know, some people get gut issues from that. And I drink a lot of coffee and I don't really get any problems in my gut from it. The main problem for me with coffee is just I'm addicted to it. Not even for energy, just a weird. It's weird. I just like it a lot, you know. I should probably drink less coffee, but just to say that if I want to have some coffee, but even though it's not included in the diet, I mean, if it works for me, whatever, then, right? And also, yeah, but yeah, here's the point. This journey with diet that I did, I could go through it all, but it would take a long time. But you get what I'm saying. First, cutting out the crap, then adding this and removing that and blah, blah. You can skip a lot of that, just going to the vertical diet. That's around there. If you're on a sincere quest to find the diet that works best for you, the vertical diet is something similar to the vertical diet is where you're going to end up. But I can end with this. Yeah, bloated gut, that's one thing too. Even though when I wasn't, you know, having diarrhea and stuff early, and I wasn't fat at all, because I cut fat was one of the first things I did when I started this fitness journey. And a friend of mine said it because we were three guys who kind of started training at the same time. So, you know, when we hung out, the shirts came off and comparing, you know, stuff like that happened. And then I remember him saying that it's not a fat gut, it's just a big gut. And yeah, I wondered, why is my gut so swole all the time? And now I get it, because a lot of food produces a lot of gas when you digest it. And this is what's so great about the vertical diet. It minimizes like gastric buildup. Gastric buildup, is that how we say it? But you know what I mean, at least. It's incredible. Even now, sometimes one of my bigger meals, depending on how I structured my food that day, like say I'll have a meal sometimes that's like 1 pound of meat and I mean, I don't know, a lot of rice. Let's say like 2 servings of rice. What would be 2 servings on the, you know, rice package? That's a lot of food, like 1,500 calories or something. And even though I'll feel full and that there's a lot of food here, my gut isn't bloated. It isn't sticking out at all. And it's when you've lived that way, being used to your gut just being sticking out like that and being all, you know, what's the word? Being like tension here. It's just so nice. It never happens to me anymore. Never. The last time I remember it happening was the only time this year I had some alcohol. Then of course I got to experience what a bloated gut is like, and I don't miss it. So, and the great thing about the vertical diet is that it's not a diet like say the keto diet. I'm not shitting on the keto diet here. It can be useful, but you know, there's kind of this rule: low carb. And with a vertical diet, it's more about the food choices, and then you can adjust it. If you want to do the vertical diet with intermittent fasting, then that's fine. If you want to do the vertical diet for bulking up, that's fine. If you want to do the vertical diet for cutting down, that's fine. If you want to do the vertical diet just to address digestion issues like IBS, the vertical diet. So yeah, I think I got everything important about it. I can't recommend it enough. And please do check out Stan Efferding in general. He has so much great free information, not only about food, but about training, about recovering from injuries too. That's one great thing. He has had many injuries. I've heard him told the story about how his knees were like destroyed when he was like 30, and now at over 50 years old, his knees are better than ever. And that to me says a lot. He did something wrong when he was younger, but he found a way that reversed it, and he's like healthier as an older man. Yeah, it's so valuable with these older guys. I really appreciate you older men sharing your wisdom with us all. Women too, of course, but let's face it, the fitness industry, especially with bodybuilding and powerlifting, is more dominated by men, and yeah, for obvious reasons, I follow mostly men, because hey, I'm a man. All right. Yes, I think I got everything I wanted to say here. I think I'm going to try doing one of these lives. I'll have an opportunity to sit by my computer this weekend, so that might be the first one. So in the meantime, please hit like, leave a comment, subscribe, give me 1,000 subs.